So we'll let our voices count now. Dr. Gifty, thank you very much for your time. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So what are you asking the EC to do? What's your problem with the EC again?
Let me first say good morning to our cherished viewers. And it's very simple and short. At least we've all been in Ghana. We've seen how the EC's conduct and how stuff had been done. Taking us back a little into history, realized that the MPP wrote some letters to the EC back and forth with Let My Vote Count, coming out to speak for a new register. Along with the EC set up a panel made of Supreme Court judges, statistical service, former bosses, ICT experts, and a whole lot, to say they should come out with the modus operandi of how our electoral commission going forward should take up. After the November 2015 meeting, this panel came out with a 77 reports. And this 77-page report is supposed to outline some of the things. The EC was quick to tell the whole world that the panel says no new register, but they did not tell the people of Ghana, and often the media also didn't tell the people of Ghana what exactly that report said. Some of the outlined stuff the report said is, yes, Ghana's register is bloated, but then Ghana do not need a new register because it's expensive. But rather, they made few observations. One of it was telling us that we have 600,000 people that are dead but are still on the register. They were clear to tell us that, yes, minors are on the register. We brought in an expert to come and review. And this expert is saying that the only way Ghana can have a clean register, and now we're not really asking for a new register, but just a clean register, a register that can give Ghana a free, fair, and peaceful election.
Let me understand this. You were advocating before for a new register. Yeah. You're not on that road anymore.
The issue is very simple. If we have a validation via register, it means that we're going to seemingly have a new register. At the end of the day, our issue is not about whether by hook or crook we should have a new register. All we said is the register is bloated. When we went to court, even the Supreme Court verdict said a lot. When you read the rulings from each of the judges that sat, they all give us one way or the other how we can clean the register. The validation is very simple. It goes to say, see, when I come to the polling station, check if I'm gifted. Now, when you check and Gifty is on the list, you validate me like the Nigerian did. You can just give me a new slip. So I go with that new card. That makes me a verified register who is supposed to vote come 7th November. At the end of the day, this is very simple. And we can do this vis-a-vis doing the limited registration. So we do not have to even finish a limited registration and come back to this. We are asking if, for instance, all the machines we're going to use for it like it was done within the weekend, knowing that, okay, we are testing if the machines are right. Yes, machines are right. But if the document I'm going to use to vote is wrong, it makes the whole thing wrong. You don't need a lot of meat into a soup to say, because the soup went bad yesterday, there is so much meat in, so we should keep it. No. And this recommendation is not done by the MPP, it wasn't done by the NDC, it wasn't done by Let My Vote Count. It was done by the panel that the EC boss and HEP Commission instituted.
But why wouldn't you allow the Electoral Commission time to carry out all these recommendations?
Mama, if you're supposed to allow, what is the allowing right after November? I told you the EC was clear. The EC wants a media tour. And I was surprised none of the media houses even asked the EC, where is the report? Because anytime the EC spoke linking up to the report and making everybody know that there was a report, and the report says no new register. The EC goofed in a lot of words by saying 40,000 gets to 1,000, some 16,000.
There were apologies. So these were corrected.
Why are we supposed to, for crying aloud, 4,000 and 60,000 are two different words? And these are basic. And at the end of the day, one of the things the EC made NPP understand was that they goofed in everything they brought. The EC told Let My Vote Count that we were even making errors in terms of the numbers we're putting out there. But this is not from us. It's from the panel instituted by the EC. This panel is saying that validates the people. Let the people come and show their faces. You and I might have never even gone to the polling station to check if our name is still in the register or not. But if this thing is made law and the EC says without you coming to verify and without you validating your existence in the ballot, you can't vote. We are not going to disenfranchise anybody. We are rather going to make sure Ghana gets a register that is clean, a register MPP will believe, NDC will believe, CPP, PPP, NDP will believe. So at the end of the day, it is not about just peaceful election. It's about justice being done. Because we all work for the peaceful elections, the free and fair. Where will the free and fairness come? When we have a register that other side says is bloated, and the other side says, no, it's fine, let's go by it. Who is supposed to be the winner at the end of it? It's Ghana.
But the issue is the EC has not clearly stated that it would not do any validation or not.
And the EC
they
have not said that it's going to do it.
Exactly. So, I mean, and we have a bit of time. There's time.
Mama,
we just have to wait for a timetable as to exactly what they want to do at whatever point. Because over the weekend,
there's already a timetable.
They decided to test.
Good. The EC has a timetable out there. The EC is running by the timetable. Limited registration was supposed to have been started in March. They told all of us.
But we know that it's going to start in April.
That is the point. And if the limited registration is going to start in April, by now the EC should have been preparing the Ghanaians' mind to say you are supposed to validate. If only the EC wanted to validate. Because you see, it is becoming clearer that the EC do not see the validation as an option, which we find a little worrying, because this is not from Let My Vote Count. Like she made us understand that Let My Vote Count cannot make her do what we want her to do. Now it's from her commission, a panel she instituted. Is she telling the whole good people of Ghana that VCRAC Crafts report is bad? Is she now saying that validation is not really what she needed? At the end of the day, it's about the right thing being done.
But this is the same committee that the Let My Vote Count Alliance, if I remember correctly, had some issues with members.
Sure, we had some members. We had some issue
on
with
the
integrity of members of the panel. We never had issue with the panel. We had the integrity of some members of the panel. Because we were in Ghana when Justice Crabb came to tell the whole world that we do not need a new register. And if this person had preempted, and we were going to put the same person on a panel to listen to the people speak. But what were we doing?
But yet you hailed their report today.
We are hailing the report because this is a report the EC itself said, I have accepted. The EC inaugurated them. The EC accepted the report. There was a whole ceremony to accept it. We are not thinking that maybe the EC just wanted Ghana to waste money. If not, then she should come out clear and tell us. Because a lot of money went into that project. A lot of things went into that project. If the whole Ghana, even on GTV and other things that belong to the state, we had a whole day people sitting in their homes watching what was happening. At the end of the day, if this report is not supposed to be adhered to, then what else will the EC adhere to? You or I. But the point is, we give that mandate to the Electoral Commissioner because we are the state and the state belongs to us. So if we, the people who are going to vote, are asking that this report should be adhered to, what is wrong with it? We are giving the EC an ultimatum, and we've been very clear that latest the Sunday to come, if the EC is not made a decision to run with the reports the EC received from her own panel, then we'll have to advise ourselves with a demonstration. And this time it's not going to be like the way people have to be intimidated and beaten up and people have to be shown into losing eyes and all that. Because let me just chip in. We filed weight against the police on the human rights abuse they melted on members of Let My Vote Count when we had a demonstration yesterday. Because it was 6 months into it. And after the 6 months, you cannot file.
It's been 6 months already?
Sure, it's been 6 months already. And you see, like they always tell us, Ghanaians easily forget. But we cannot forget the toil of people losing their eyes, the toil of people being beaten for just asking for the right thing.
So what are you asking the courts to do?
We're asking the court to look through it and at least compensate the people that had all this and make sure that no policeman will take the law into his or her own.
How much compensation are you seeking to?
2 million for all the people.
2 million for all the people. But what has happened to some of the people who got hurt? I mean, we followed the story of the young man, who lost his eye.
A lot of things had been done. For instance, those people who some had even back problems and all that, we are still taking them to the hospital. They are being treated by physio and all that. The young man, we're told, unfortunately cannot gain an eye again, but he can only have a glass eye. So we had a surgery. He's supposed to do it again at Kolibu. So the process has just been done. But we cannot let a father lose his eye because he came out to stand for something.
But that costs, who's responsible? The Let My Vote Count Alliance. So now you're asking for this compensation from...
You see, the first thing we're asking for is the courts to make the police understand you cannot maltreat the people of the state. Because the state belongs to, as I said, the state belongs to the people. The police works for the state. The police do not take the supposed orders from above. It's high time it stopped. And you see, everybody has a right to demonstrate. And the police, on their minimum force, they have what it takes to, but they cannot go extendly and say, oh, okay, we did it because we are police. Because when you watch some of the videos, you would see policemen taking branches of trees and hitting people. The police do not do that. The police do not go to manage a demonstration with sticks. At the end of the day, let the judge tell us if those things that were done was right. But we are telling the EC now that right after Sunday, we are advising ourselves, Ghanaians are going out there again to march. This time, we're not going to do it like they create the impression Ghanaians are very peaceful. We'll make sure the EC understands
how
it is our destiny they are taking.
But you see, Gifty, you went out the first time.
Sure.
You didn't quite achieve the reason you went out, did you? Because we're still not getting a new register.
You see, the point is this. This is not the first time Ghana is supposed to go through this. See, right from 1992 to 96, there was a point Ghana was having a ballot box that was not transparent. Some people went on the street, they fought for it. Then we got a very transparent ballot. Then the Sweden government said, okay, you guys say you need the transparent box. Why not? Come for money, go for it. We even got double at each point. At the end of the day, it came to a point on the register we're using now. We didn't have our pictures there. It was just names. And you could not use your voter's ID to go get money like people do now. But some other people fought for it and said, no, we must have our picture. Something must identify me as Gifty, not just my name. They got it. So the fight may not be just close like we think. But the point is that before 7th November, we know Ghana will have a free and
Don't
clean
you believe
register.
in IPAC? Because, you know, that's the group that's been doing a lot of these things and making sure that at least there are some new changes, things happening.
Right. You see, it's just like somebody who comes to take your car away from you. Later, you allow the police catch the person brings a car, and later on you come and the person is carrying your sofa. Would you allow the person to carry it willingly and say, oh, go? So later the police get it. You see, this is the same IPAC. IPAC has always been said.
So IPAC is what, the police?
In the scenario that you just gave. You see, IPAC sat with the EC. They made decisions. IPAC never sat to the EC to speak of the steering committee the EC set up. The EC makes decision on her own, to the point that IPAC went for meetings. They were never told who was going to be part of a steering committee, sessions of steering committee. We all heard from the news, and members of IPAC came out clear to say we were not told. At the end of the day, the political parties are supposed to be actors in this game. We are supposed to be a pressure group. We believe so much that Ghana and every Ghanaian's vote must count. So for us, whether there is IPAC or not, the right thing must be done. IPAC has had several meetings right after the November. What has come out of it? The only point the EC has been clear with IPAC is the fact that no new register. So we are asking whether there is IPAC or not, whether there is a steering committee or not, which we've spoken against so many times. There is no need for it. Because what is steering committee when we still have a commission? What really would the steering committee be doing? But then we are asking that legislation is done, validation is done. So tomorrow, you and I will just walk to the place and say, see, Gifty, my name is in the register. Excited as I was when I saw my name in the register recently, and still believe that I have a choice of voting in 2016. That's what we are asking for. I'm giving a new ID that validates me that Gifty is a Ghanaian and Gifty can vote in the coming election.
So IPAC is useless then, if they can't carry out these...
IPAC is useless. IPAC has their duties. And one of them is not supposed to force.
But this is one of the most important.
Sure, but you see, the EC came out clear to tell IPAC that they are an advisory body. IPAC so many times have asked the EC to make sure they adhere to the report from the panel. The EC hasn't. At the end of the day, you and I, we are larger than IPAC. IPAC is just selection of political parties, that is registered political parties who have representations there.
But they've also got a bigger interest in the elections.
But you and I have that bigger interest because at the end of the day, there is only one Ghana we have. I don't have a Ghana. I don't know if you have a Ghana. So if there is an issue, I can't fight.
Are you saying that what an advisory group recognized by the Electoral Commission, what they cannot do, a pressure group like the Let My Vote Council Alliance can do? Because
we are many. You see, that's why I said they are few, but we are many. We are many on the fact that there are lots more Ghanaians who do not get chances to speak in the media. There are lots more Ghanaians who sit in their houses who believe so much Ghana's election must be peaceful. And they all believe that there must be a root cause to the peace, justice, free and fair election. And all these people that sit in their homes, they are ready and they are all part of the Let My Vote Count alliance. That's why we don't just say we are just a group, but we are an alliance. Everybody that believes the fact that any election, whether from the district assembly, whether the primaries, whatever election, it must be done on the free and fair base. And my vote after voting must count.
Some people believe that you're doing all this because Nana Akufo-Addo is in the opposition. You want him to win by all means, at all costs. You are only saying let my vote count because you want vote to count for Nana Akufo-Addo.
You see, Ravi, it's surprising when the votes that will count at the end, if it's Nana Akufo-Addo presidency, that will make Ghanaians vote count. Why not? We as a pressure group has been very clear with our stance. We would stand with anybody that believes in the truth. So if anybody believes let my vote count is because of Nana Akufo-Addo presidency, why not? But let me remind you, we have NDP members in Let My Vote Count. When Let My Vote Count was going around and we're meeting leaders of Ghana, none of them ever saw us as an MPP, a pro-NPP. Whoever will want to conducively make us a pro-MPP, why not? That we will not challenge. But we have CPP members in Let My Vote Count. We have UPP members in Let My Vote Count. We have PPP members in Let My Vote Count. That's why I said we are an alliance. And an alliance can bring NPP, NDC, CPP.
So but you've got a lot of NPP people and you have no NDC.
We've got a lot of human beings.
You have no NDC person
you see,
in Let My Vote.
It's exciting. We do. That's
are you MPP or you're NDC?
Myself?
Yes.
I'm very MPP. I'm MPP.
So the leadership of Let My Vote Counts is NPP?
No. Charles Owusu is PPP. Also Empire is NDP. Kabila, who used to be part of us, is CPP. So if yesterday Let My Vote Count used to be NPP, then similarly I'm supposed to believe that maybe Kabila was NPP.
Do you have any NDC members in
As
Let
I
My
said,
Vote Counts?
I cannot tell you all the membership we have in terms of individual names.
Well, but you mentioned PPP,
I mentioned people that had been on radio, people that had spoken. And you see, there are points that I know something that is being done in my home is wrong, but I may not be that big voice to come out and say it's not. The fact that Let My Vote Count is for the voiceless makes some NDC people who believe, yes, we need a credible register for the next election. That person belongs to Let My Vote Count. So it's not about who is there or who is MPP or NDC. Because all said and done, when we go out there after there is peace, it's Ghana that enjoys. No, when there is supposed to be war, they will not ask if I'm NDC, if I'm MPP. They will just ask, are you Ghanaian? And like it's happening in some countries, we do not want Ghana to go, as I said. I don't have a gun. I don't think you do. So we cannot risk Ghana's peace for anybody.
You know, some people would say, just hit the streets because this ultimatum you've given, nothing will happen.
You see, I want to believe, yes, that's how it's been. Like, typical of all of us. Okay, let's hit the street, this ultimatum. For the first time, you'll be surprised. We'll have an ultimatum that will work in Ghana. Because you see, we are close to election. Like you said, see, we are in March. Election is in November. November is not part of the election because it's on the 7th. So indirectly, we end everything by September. At the end of the day, Ghana's peace is very, very paramount to some of us. And we would not allow anybody to make Ghana's peace be trampled on. And that is just
But
basic.
would your hitting the streets even solve the problem?
The hitting of the streets may not solve the problem in totality, but at least it will send a clear indication to the people that, see, Ghanaians are not as they see us to be. We are not that trivial like they want to see us.
What happened to writing to the EC?
So many times we've written to the EC, and I'm telling you on authority, none of it had been responded. Even the supposed MPP who they claim we are fighting for, who are members of IPAC, the EC is never in writing respond to any of their letters.
But they publicly acknowledged that they had received.
If you receive my letter without replying me, what are you doing? I wrote a letter to you and you decide to respond to me via the media. That's how it's done. We wrote letters to the EC. The EC never replied any of them. And at the end of the day, we are at this point because most of us thought that it was a fight of only the political parties. But I've always been telling people that the caveat is most of the political parties have nice passports. They have all the good visas in there, they can in a minute move out of the country. Most of us, the good number of us Ghanaians, do not have this passport. We can't even travel. So the only place we have is Ghana. The land's supposed to be in the equator.
So what, Sunday you expect by Sunday you expect the Electoral Commission
Later
to
Sunday, shall we?
Officially, because you haven't officially written to them.
We have officially written to
Okay,
them, so.
but they have not responded.
They've not responded.
So you're expecting that before Sunday or by Sunday they would have written to you and told you something.
You see,
is it the action or what they intend to do that
we
you're
don't need
asking
them to tell us something. They should give us an action plan. They should tell the whole people of Ghana, not even let my vote count, but Ghanaians. That's it. This is how we intend to use the report we got from our panel. Then we are fine. Because they just should tell us. They just should come out clear and make the panel, the members of the panel, feel proud of the reports they did. Because when you read that report, you'll be surprised. That's why I said, see, if the report clearly stated that 600,000 people dead are still on the register, and once in Ghana, somebody's won an election with even a 30,000, somebody's won an election with 300,000, then it means that the few dead people that are dead, if I should call it, can determine who becomes president.
So by Sunday, if you don't get this response,
we hit the street.
When?
That one will make it clear to the media right after Sunday.
Yeah.
We want Sunday to come. Let the EC not reply us. Then the EC will understand that there is still a big alliance that is bigger than the Electoral Commission. Because the Electoral Commission, when you take all their workers across board, they are not bigger than a constituency.
Are you in talks with the police already for dates and notification
the police is always,
of an
the police is
action?
always, you see, our laws, that's why I said
you are not asking them for permission, but you're just notifying them that
so
this is what you want to do.
this notification, we'll do it when we're supposed to. And that's why we said, you see, we have the right to demonstrate at any time we want. All we are supposed to do is to make sure we notify the police. Right after Sunday, if the EC is not said anything, we are going to notify the police. And we will notify every Ghanaian who believes so much that his or her vote must count, including even the EC, who is supposed to also make sure her vote is counted, that we are hitting the street. And you see, our hit of the street is not against her personality.
How many are you? I mean, Let My Vote Count Alliance. How many membership do you? Yes.
Let My Vote Count Alliance have membership more than 10,000.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have a registered membership of 10,000. And you see, our alliance connects to the Movement for Change and other agencies. So every time we have demonstrations, all these agencies come in. Even when we have our press releases, they also most of the time write to also even commemorate it.
And prominently, we see the NPP agree with you on a lot of the things that you
Not
do.
just the
almost
NPP,
everything.
the NDP also agreed. The PPP, the last time we had a demonstration, agreed. And even the UPP agreed. So it wasn't just the NPP. But as I said, you see, it's about who sees this election, who sees him or herself as a bigger actor. The NPP is the largest opposition party. So if the largest opposition party, indirectly a party in waiting, because obvious, any opposition party becomes a party, the next to the main political party in power. If they see themselves as an agent to make sure that the right thing is done, why not? We will gladly even embrace the NDC as a political party if they decide to say, for this time, we really side with Let My Vote Count. Because for the first time, when we came out to tell them about the steering committee, for the first time, the NDC came out clear to say, this one, we side with Let My Vote Count. This man shouldn't have been on the board. Meaning that at one point, we all side, but then we would not allow the political parties to only side with us because it's in their interest or not in their interest. They must side with us because it's in Ghana's interest.
All right. We'll speak again, God willing, on Monday. We'll see if the Electoral Commission has responded or not.
We hope.
And then we'll follow up. Some of us think that you should start talking to the police right away.
Okay.
But you are very optimistic, so we'll see what happens.
Very much.
Dr. Giftiawari is an executive member of the Let My Vote Count Alliance. She's been my guest on my banner this morning. Stay with us. Roland Walker has talk right here on the AM show.